Hey guys, it's Carrie Scroggins from KDS Insurance Services. How are you doing today? It's Tuesday and it is already November the 9th. Can you believe that? Man, days just seem to fly by. I wanted to talk to you today about a couple of different things. Working with a client right now who's in the process of trying to decide whether or not he wants to buy a piece of land and build a home or put a home on it, or buy a conventional type home, on-site built home. And so I thought I'd take an opportunity today to kind of talk about what the differences are from an insurance perspective and how some things can affect the type of insurance that you buy and the premiums that are associated with those. So let's talk about a conventional site-built home where you're putting your home, it's a brand new home, and you're putting on a slab, a cement slab, and you're having that home built by a builder. So some of the things that can really affect the premium on those type of homes obviously is the age of the home. The newer the home, the less expensive the insurance is going to be for obvious reasons, right? If the home is new, then there's not nearly as much opportunity for there to be things that break down and need a new roof and, all those kinds of things. So that's a big influential part of a new home, and why new homes right now in Texas, for an insurance perspective, are so much less expensive. Even down in the coastal zones of Texas, if you can find a carrier that will actually include wind and hail in their quote, the premiums for a new home are pretty remarkable. Let's just kind of use a sort of in the center of the state example. So this particular client is talking about a 1,200 to a 1,500 square foot home, standard type home, concrete slab, and then just the basic general finishes. And so that home, the cost of that home to build is going to run you at about $140 a square foot. And so you're looking at an insurance value then of about $270,000 for a new home, okay, for replacement cost. We've talked about replacement cost and actual cash value, and this is replacement cost. So you've got a new roof, you've got all new appliances, you've got a brand new home, and so the concern from the carrier's point of view is, well, there's not probably going to be any claims, and so our premiums are going to be relatively competitive. And when I say relatively, I mean under $800 for sure per year with a 1% all peril and wind and hail deductible in the center of Texas. And so that's a remarkable premium, and that's pretty standard across the board for most of my carriers, or anyways, and for what I'm seeing in that particular region, and with those type of finishes, general finishes. And most homes today have some sort of wooden flooring, and they have granite countertops or quartz countertops. Most are at least a 2-car garage, and most of them have composition shingle roofs. So, you're looking for a brand new home anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 square feet, depending on your deductible, which we're saying is 1%. So you're looking at about, less than $800 a year. So then another one of the homes that's really popular here in Texas too is barndominiums. These are metal homes with concrete slabs, and then their framing is metal, and then the entire building is metal as well. So you have metal walls, metal framing, metal walls, and then a metal roof. And generally speaking, these barndominiums have a much bigger open floor plan. And so people are really looking for that these days, and they are looking for a way to save some money. Now, the thing about barndominiums that I'm finding is that the cost per square foot these days seems to be way up there. And I'm surprised by that, because the cost of lumber is much more expensive these days. So in my mind, you should be paying less per square foot for a metal building than you are a frame building. So that leads me to assume then that these builders and contractors are loading up their cost per square foot. And I think that's wrong. I just did a quote on a barndominium that was about, again, 1,200 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, with an oversized, a single garage and then an oversized workshop. And that premium came in at about $600, which it should. That's a reasonable premium because you're brand new building, you're on a slab, everything's new. And so you've got a brand new roof. These are metal roofs too. 90% of the time in Texas, these barndominiums are made with metal roofs. And so there's about a $200 difference here between a metal building and a standard building, and that's the way it should be. I think that's a reasonable amount of differential between a standard built home and a metal building, or what we call here in Texas a barndominium. It's on land, and so you should be paying a little less for that. Okay, so then you go and you look at the difference between a modular home and a mobile home. Now, most builders today do put these buildings on a slab, and they use tie downs. And the majority of the manufacturers now have a 200-mile-an-hour hurricane engineered tie down, which helps to lower your premiums. But what I'm finding is these newer modular homes or these newer mobile homes are double what the standard home or the barndominium is. Now, I understand there's a greater exposure, but we're still talking about all new. So we're still talking about new roofs, new appliances, new plumbing. I mean, we're talking about all new, just like we're talking about the other type homes. And so I think that that's abnormally high. I think it probably should be a little higher just because of the type of home that it is, and it's not permanently affixed, it's tied down to the slab. But still, to find that those premiums are double, I think is really, really high. So if you're in the market to buy a home, buy a new home, build a barndominium, or put a manufactured or a modular home on a piece of property, you really need to do your insurance and do your research to determine what you're looking at as far as your insurance costs, because the difference can be quite substantial. I mean, you can go from $600 a year to $1,200 a year, and I just think that that's a pretty wide margin that's unacceptable in my mind anyways. So things to be asking about any type of build that you do that's not a standard on-site construction is you need to be asking about your foundation, all your materials, your tie downs if it's a manufactured or a modular home, what those classifications are, and then get with an insurance agent that can understand what the differences are. That's really important, of course. And then walk through all of those quotes so you can have all the information up front to make a really good decision about which is the best way for you to go, because there can be substantial differences. There can also be a lot of fees associated with a new build. A lot of times you've got to put a well in, you've got to grade the land, you've got to put a septic system in. So there's a lot of other costs that you need to consider when you look at the difference between a standard built home and either a modular or a mobile home or a barndominium. Because in all of those situations, you've got to prepare the land and you've got to buy the land. So another thing you've got to look for when you're in this process is what type of loans are available for you. FHA, conventional. There's also some down payer assistance programs that are out there that seem to be very confusing. You get one person telling you one thing and somebody else telling you another thing. So if anybody's watching this that's a real estate agent or a mortgage agent, I would really love to hear from you, because I'd like to know what the difference is. And I'd like to know whether or not there really is a down payment assistance program in our economy today, because it is so inflated. The ability for a young person in their mid to late 20s to buy a home seems to be almost out of reach because of the amount of down payment that's required. So I would really like to hear from you if you are a real estate or a mortgage broker, just to get some updated information that you can share with me that I can share with my clients. So anyways, that's it for today. Today is Tuesday. It's the first video of the week. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great week so far. I hope it's productive and positive. I hope the rest of the week soars for you and you crush all the goals that you may have. I hope wherever you are that it's a beautiful fall week for you as well, and I will see you at the end of the week. Make sure to, if you don't mind, stop by my channel. Give me a thumbs up, guys, and leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel. That really does help me, and I will see you on Friday. God bless. Take care.